Thank you for listening to MichaelFranklinJr.com on Anchor FM. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Okay, welcome to MichaelFranklinJr.com. Again, we just wanted to do another episode. We had a bunch of things we wanted to talk about. So right now it looks like America owes Africans approximately $14 trillion for 400 years of free labor. That's about $450,000 per person. The United States current GDP is at $19 trillion. Now, I have a lot of questions. One of them is if we were to receive it, what would we do with it? I think, honestly, black people, we would probably spin it right back into the hands of the white people because we don't really own much of our own stuff. So if we were to get that right now, I think that we would probably give it all back in less than a month.
You'll see black people with the newest, Porsche 911s and all types of crashing all over the road, insurance policies taking it around.
I just think that, I don't know that, but from dealing with the black people that I know of, and I hate to be racist or anything or think that I'm racist against our own brothers and sisters, but honestly, just be honest, y'all, please, just be honest with yourself. What would you do with $450,000 right now, you personally? What would you do with it? Leave a comment and, explain to me what you would do if the government gave you $450,000 for your ancestors, for your ancestors being slaves in this country for about over 400 years. And that's a long time. And I think we're worth more than that, honestly, for 400 years. But that shows if we calculate it, that it comes out to about $14 trillion. Then the government currently has $19 trillion. So what would you do with it if you had it? If you had $450,000?
And I would invest. I would start to build something for myself because that's the whole, I feel like that'd be the whole purpose of it. Like the 400 years of free labor in America and stuff like that, the money that would be paid back to those people, and the person, if I was the person to fight for it, I would want you to take that money that I fought so hard for you to get in the first place as a black community, and I would want you to take it and invest so that the black community can finally have something. Because in this country, America, black people don't really own much here.
Yeah, so what would you invest it in?
We would.
I think we should be given not only that, but land to live on.
Yeah, you could buy it. You could possibly
but then if you buy land, you basically giving it back right there. You're giving it right back to the United States to buy the land.
You could still flip it to make a profit, and then you could have the money cycling through your hand, because that's one of the things that a lot of black people don't understand with the money that goes through America. What you want to do is have the most money coming through your hand. You don't want to have the most money on you, like just holding on to it. You want to have the money going through your hand.
And actually growing. You know what I'm saying? You want to invest it in a place where it'll constantly grow. Yeah. And that the fruits of your labor will help grow. Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I borrow a lot of money. Yeah. And the reason why I borrow a lot of money is because I know I can pay it back over time. Yeah. And I could actually grow my credit and my accounts like that, so. Yeah. That's one thing that I do. But if we were given that type of money, I would probably put it in accounts to where I know that the money will grow. Yeah. And probably borrow off of that money in order to create commerce,
Yeah.
to create businesses,
Yeah.
to open our own grocery stores, to open our own banks. And
That's exactly what I'm
saying?
about to get into right
We
now.
We need our own grocery stores.
We need our own
communities. Farmland too.
We need another Black Wall Street.
Yeah, we need
to start doing that again. Like, why is every city ran by only white people? And like, why is every city built by only white people? Like, the cities that are built and the communities that were made were white people creation. Like, they built that. That's why they're suburbs. Like, they made
I wouldn't say they built it, they financed it. Like, the money, most of the money came from them to build these structures, like the Raider Stadium.
Yeah.
Like, they got money to build the Raider Stadium.
Like, and
I don't know I haven't seen exactly who's building it. I'm sure they have a bunch of different, foremen.
Yeah.
Maybe a lot more.
And
I'm sure it's probably more white foremen than black foremen.
And there's a huge divide that's going on that it irritates me when people don't really pay attention to it. The wealthy against the poor. Now that's going on, and that's just like an extension of slavery. It's because a simple fact that during the time of oppression, when black people were being discriminated against, they were going and they were separating blacks from whites. And where the whites were staying, they was putting all this money into where white people were staying so that whoever was like, all these white people living in this community, all of their money that they've already invested will get even more. They'll basically become richer just by the money they've already invested, while the poor communities where they were shoving the black people were getting poorer. And
that's also
worse
because of the education system. They weren't educating black people on things to do with their money. And I think education comes from, a lot of the education that we have comes from people who are not educated, who don't know how the monetary system works. That's why I study. I try to study as much as I can about the monetary system. I educate myself.
Yeah.
Because there's not very many people out there to educate us. Right now, Dr. Boyce Watkins, they have Dr. Boyce Watkins and stuff like that, who tries to educate. He's a black man. He educates people on the financial. There's a Crystal, what's her name? Crystal, I think Crystal Smith. She does financial education and financial literacy for kids. And I help her with her website,
we need to really make that. I was feeling like we really need to make that something that Americans understand, because it's like, it doesn't make any sense that America school system, like, everybody goes to school and we go to school for all these years so that we can get out of school and not understand anything that's going on in life in the country that we live in. We don't understand nothing. Like, people don't understand anything at all. And it's like, what was the purpose of school?
They're asleep. I mean, like, they don't. School was to indoctrinate black people.
That part too. But this is what I was about to say.
They don't even teach good history.
They don't even teach history, really. They don't really teach it at all, like, to be honest. But I was about to say that I feel like one of the core things of school should be economics and finances. Like, I feel like that should be a core class, because I feel like, honestly, the economics of your country and the finances, like not just how to invest your money in the banking system, but like how to invest your money in assets and how to put your money towards this and that, not just all stocks. Like, that's the problem that people think. When people think finances, they think all stocks, and it's like, finances is deeper than just stocks. That's like, finances is putting your money down towards this and seeing that this works out like a plan or a project. That could be finances, stuff like that.
Real estate, companies for sale, stuff like that,
Yeah, like that, we need the people, because that's like majority of what America is. So it's like, majority of the people in America don't understand how to work America. Which is like the main reason why so many people are homeless and so many people are on the streets and so many people are suffering, because it's like, you don't understand how to work your own country. Like, you should be in your country, working your country to build your wealth. Like
that's what America is like built on, wealth and hope, and they call it the American dream, but nobody knows how.
Yeah, nobody knows how to do it.
Work the dream.
Yeah, so it's like I feel like economics and finances, to like learn the economics of America and how to use your finances to work the economics of America should be a core class, and I feel like it's just as important as reading and writing.
Because then they distract you with shiny stuff.
That part, yeah.
You can work you can learn all the information that you know on how to become wealthy, how to grow, but then you see a shiny new iPhone 11 coming out.
Oh God!
And then you're like, okay, instead of investing my money into these corporations that's coming up, why don't I just buy an iPhone 11?
Yeah, that's stupid.
Even though it's just a little bit, they added an extra camera or 2 extra cameras.
I think
like
so.
That.
2 extra cameras.
Yeah, just when there was nothing wrong with your iPhone, with the iPhone 10, the iPhone 9, the original iPhone, but yeah, you want iPhone 11 because it's new and it costs you $1,000, and you could have spent that $1,000 and lived off of that $1,000 for a couple of months, but yet you want the new.
I don't know that the iPhone 11. Like the only reason I would get it is because I will use it for production. But
some people don't. A lot of people don't think like the reason why I even bought my computer.
Yeah.
And I had an old computer, and I used that computer to become a website developer. So, and my computer was old and slow, and it took me triple the amount of time to build a website than it does now. That's why I kind of like upgraded my computer, but it's still to make money. It's still for the purpose of gaining more income. A lot of people, they're buying these things because they're flashy, because they like it. We don't have a lot of time. I got to go to the next question. But that's about that. What will we do with the money when we receive it? Please don't buy new shiny stuff. Would there be specific qualifications to receive it? Like, how black do you have to be? Do you have to get the DNA and be linked to an actual slave master or slave owner? And then if you were, what would be the qualifications to receive that type of money? Is another thing that I would add, or that we would have to. I think they're
gonna be like, you gotta be 90% African,
or you gotta be related to, what is it, Kunta Kinte.
Yep, you gotta be directly related.
Directly related to Kunta Kinte. If your ankle hurts from time to time, then
you got the Kunta Kinte.
You got the Kunta. You related to Kunta Kinte.
Kunta Kinte.
Yeah, because his foot was chopped off, so that shows you related to Kunta Kinte. So, but yeah, I was just wondering about that. What qualifications would you have to? I think everybody should get it, honestly, if you have a percentage of black, because 9 times out of 10, if you, there was rape.
Except light-skinned people.
No, but there was, because there was rape going on at that time. Like, slave owners would actually rape the women and demasculate the men. And it was like, I think we should get it just based on that. That should be, and then people should be, I know you can't bring dead people up on charges. Most people are dead who did that. So, you got away with that.
And the approval of all of this is happening, like all of that happening was approved by somebody. Like somebody approved all of this. So the approval of all of that should just be enough for that to be like, I don't understand why it would be such a fight. That's what I'm trying to say.
And then where would we have to go to receive it? Because if you got to go to the welfare office,
I'm not going.
I don't even want it. The welfare office is like the most horrible place to be that I think
have you waiting 20 years just to get your...
Man, you have to go to the welfare office and wait in that line. And then once you get to the beginning of the line, the person that was at the beginning of the line got an attitude.
It's going to be irritating. Don't be like, well, I did not come here to get $250,000 or $500,000